It was a regular Tuesday night. My parents were away, and I had the house to myself. I was chilling on the couch, binge-watching a series, when I noticed something odd outside my living room window. The street was dimly lit, but I could make out a figure lurking near my neighbor's house. At first, I thought it might be one of their friends or a family member, someone they were expecting. But the longer I watched, the more uneasy I became. This person was just standing there, staring at their front door. It gave me the creeps, but being the rational person I am, I dismissed it as my imagination running wild. As the night progressed, I got up to grab a snack from the kitchen. That's when I heard a creak, a subtle noise that sent a chill down my spine. I froze. The front door was slightly ajar. Panic set in, and I immediately regretted not double-checking if I'd locked it. I hesitated, debating whether to investigate or call the police. But curiosity got the better of me, and against my better judgment, I tiptoed toward the door. It swung open with a soft groan, revealing an eerily quiet house. I heard a noise upstairs, like footsteps. My heart pounded as I realized someone was inside my home. Fear gripped me, but I forced myself to stay calm. I retreated to a closet, my breath caught in my throat, praying they wouldn't find me. From my hiding spot, I could hear the intruder moving through the rooms, searching for something. The tension was unbearable. I clutched my phone, ready to call for help, when I heard a noise from downstairs. It was a door slamming shut. I strained to listen, and my blood ran cold as I heard the unmistakable sound of a scream echoing through the night. My mind raced, and I realized the intruder hadn't found me but had moved on to my neighbor's house. Guilt and relief washed over me in equal measure. I couldn't believe the horrifying turn of events. I stayed hidden until I was sure it was safe, and then, with shaky hands, I called the police. When they arrived, I explained what had happened. The reality hit me like a ton of bricks when they went next door. My neighbor, a kind elderly couple, had been brutally attacked. The scene was something out of a nightmare. It wasn't a random break-in, the intruder had specifically targeted them. The investigation unfolded, and the police caught the perpetrator. Turns out, he had a twisted motive and had mistaken my house for theirs. It's a chilling realization that I narrowly escaped a fate that befell my neighbors. The guilt still lingers, wondering if there was anything I could have done differently. The randomness of it all, the fact that a simple twist of fate saved my life that night, is a haunting thought. It's a reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places, and sometimes, survival is just a matter of luck. So, there you have it. The night I narrowly avoided a killer but couldn't prevent the tragedy that unfolded next door. Life can be stranger and scarier than any horror movie. Stay safe, everyone. I was 13 when this happened, and it still gives me nightmares thinking about it. My parents wanted to go out on a date night, so they left me home on a Friday night. I am an only child, so I stayed home alone. We had a one-story home with a daylight basement that had its own entrance. We live on a dead-end street that is pretty quiet in the evening, so not many cars come and go. My neighbors are pretty close to my house too, so I didn't feel uncomfortable being home by myself. So, my parents left around 6 p.m. for their dinner reservation, and I had a nice hot pizza delivered and was ready to watch some scary movies all by myself. I was excited. I locked the door behind them and popped on the TV. I was scrolling through the movies on my Roku app and decided to watch one of the Halloween movies first. I snuggled in my nice, warm fuzzy blanket on the couch, got comfy and began my night alone. About an hour passed and I got up to use the bathroom. While in the bathroom, I thought I heard noises coming from the basement. It sounded like something was moving around, but I figured I was home alone, what could it be, so I brushed it off as nothing. I finished in the bathroom and went back to my couch to finish the movie. Another 5 minutes passed and again, moving noises in the basement. Now I started getting that nervous feeling in my gut. I stopped the movie to listen for more noises. Oh crap, what is that? I thought about that entrance door down there and wondered if it was locked. I assumed my parents locked it. Oh, I hope they did. I didn't know what to do. I took a deep breath and decided to walk towards the basement and put my ear to the door. What a mistake. I heard footsteps coming up the stairs. I froze in fear. This has never happened to me before. I have been home alone in the past, but mostly during the day. I know the obvious thing to do would be to call the cops, but did I do that? No, I ran outside and went to my neighbor's house, and banged on their door. Thankfully they were home and let me in. I was out of breath, scared, and couldn't get the words out fast enough. I asked them to please call the cops. There is someone in my house. Hurry please. They called 911 and the cops came over within 10 minutes. I also called my parents to let them know what was going on. I let the cops check out the house and I stayed at my neighbor's where I felt safe. After some time, one of the cops came over to my neighbor's house and said they didn't find anyone in the house, but did say that whoever it was came in through the basement entrance. It must have been unlocked. Nothing was taken and everything was in its place. My parents got home and of course were very upset and scared. The cops assured us the house was clear and to please lock our doors and windows at all times. They think this person saw my parents leave and assumed the house was empty. I don't want to think that this person knew I was home alone. After some thought, my mother said, "Oh no, I don't think we locked the basement door." She just assumed since we lived in a quiet neighborhood, we were safe, so she didn't really worry about it. Needless to say, after this night, we all made sure every door and window stayed locked. They still leave me alone, but they let the next door neighbors know when they do just in case. I still think about this night and it gives me nightmares. I am 16 now and feel a little uneasy being home alone, but I know I need to get over it. Please stay safe out there, and always lock your doors. You don't know who is lurking around your neighborhood. I will admit, at my age of 47, I am afraid of the dark, therefore if I am home alone at night, I can get a little nervous. I am married with a 10-year-old daughter. We live in a single-level home on a dead-end street. Thankfully we do not have a basement or garage, just a house. We live close to our neighbors too, so I usually always feel safe. This incident happened last month. My husband and daughter went on an overnight Cub Scout camping trip. I stayed behind because I had to work the next day. So they left the house at 5 p.m., and I was looking forward to being all alone, watching reality shows, and eating a nice steak meal. I settled on the couch and enjoyed a nice quiet dinner. Around 6:30 p.m., I see a shadow walk by my front room window. It moved fast. I assumed it was something innocent, like a branch or bird. So I ignored it and continued watching my show. Another 2 minutes go by and again, a quick shadow goes by the same window. This time, I paused the show and got up to check it out. I didn't want to go outside, so I just looked outside the window. I didn't see anything. I then heard a scratching sound at my front door. I thought, okay, what is going on? I know we have stray cats around the neighborhood, but they don't scratch the door. We also have raccoons, but again, they do not scratch at the door. They just run in the backyard and look for food, which we do not have back there. I decided to check and make sure my doors were locked. Thankfully, all of them were. As I walked from the back of the house to the front, out of the corner of my eye, I see someone standing at my glass sliding door that leads to the side of the house. I looked at him and he was just looking at me, no expression. Then he creepily lifted his arm up and waved to me. I just froze, my heart racing. What the hell do I do now? I ran to the front room where I was watching TV and grabbed my phone to call 911. I then heard him trying to pry the glass door open. After a few tries, He started banging on the glass. I told the dispatcher to please hurry, someone is trying to break in. She told me to remain calm, police are on their way. Right, stay calm. How? Someone is trying to break in and maybe kill me. I ran to the kitchen and grabbed the biggest knife I had and just waited. I couldn't run out the front door to the car, he would have seen me and got me. He then walked to the kitchen window and tapped on it. What he said to me will always remain in my memory. He smiled and said, "I will always remember where you live." Finally the cops showed up and he took off. He didn't wear a mask, but I remembered his face and what he wore. I gave all the details to the police and they took a report. So far, he has not been caught. I told my husband what happened and we changed the locks. Since this has happened, I cannot sleep, any little noise wakes me. I have nightmares about him breaking in and just standing over my bed watching me sleep. I am thinking of getting some therapy to help get over this.